Guys, there are spoilers for this film and this review. So if you don't want your world to turn upside down, go watch the film, then come back. You have been warned. Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Ronan HD. So yeah, this is going to be a great time. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Ronan HD, and this week we watched Disclosure Day, the new Steven Spielberg film starring Emily Blunt and Josh O'Connor. And I'm going to say, this movie was so goddamn good. It felt like classic Spielberg. It was entertaining, it was funny, it was heartfelt, it was touching, it was all those buzzwords. It was so fucking good. But before I go on tangent why I love this movie, I'll tell you why and more. Back to house.
What are you gonna do?
Full disclosure to the whole world.
That truth will upend all established order across the entire world. If you do this, there's no undoing it.
Whatever happens,
Don't you let go.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Ronan HD, and this week we watched Disclosure Day, the new Steven Spielberg film starring Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Colman, Domingo, Eve Hewson, and Colin Firth, also with a score by Johnny Williams himself. This film is a, sci-fi, thriller / action movie, right? And I really enjoyed it. Now, to my surprise, this movie seems to be a little divisive, and I guess I kind of just want to say that I think it was very enjoyable. I really enjoyed the how it kind of just kept going. Some people said it was boring. I didn't really. I think it was pretty fast paced in my opinion. I felt like it was going. I mean, obviously, or maybe I was just invested and I was enjoying the movie, so it didn't really feel that long. I don't know. I liked that aspect. I liked pretty much not everything, but I think I just had a fun time. Right? I thought it was really entertaining. I thought it was really funny at points. I really liked the classic Spielberg sense of wonder that it had. Right? I just think it was a really enjoyable movie. Now, is it a perfect movie? No. Obviously, it's quite a feat to be a perfect movie. There's not many of those, right? But even with that being said, I don't think that takes away from the movie. I just think maybe some people it's just not for them, right? And I think this movie was for me. I like aliens, and I guess maybe some people said that it was generic in some sense, that it didn't really introduce anything new to this genre, which again, does it need to? I think if it's just an entertaining movie, I think that's what's most important to me, right? I'm not necessarily looking to watch an extraterrestrial movie, no pun intended. I'm not really looking, any movie, I'm not really looking for anything groundbreaking. I'm just looking to have a good time. And I think one thing I really enjoyed, I think actually one of the strongest aspects of the film, at least in my opinion, was Emily Blunt's performance. She was so friggin' good in this movie. I really, really enjoyed how it really did feel like she was just an average person being thrust into this world-changing event that she didn't know what was going on, and she wasn't built for it. And she wasn't prepared for it, and she wasn't ready for it, and she's not even really, equipped for it, right? And I really like how she how she puts in that stress and that panic and that confusion into her performance. She was so good in this movie precisely because she felt like a real person. You know what I mean? She was really giving it her all, and I really enjoyed that. I think she has probably the best performance in the movie. I really, really enjoyed that. Another thing that I liked was the comedy. I think there were some really funny things about this movie. I really liked at the beginning of the movie with a big surprise with Wyatt Russell. I forgot to mention him in the fucking Wyatt Russell's in this movie. And he is a dumbass, right? But he's very funny dumbass, right? Like, his banter with Emily Blunt at the beginning of the movie is really entertaining. And I do love how, like, him being an idiot, like, really does equate into the first bit, and I love that's a bit of the comedy too, is him having no idea what the hell is going on alongside her, but she's just going with it and he's not. But I also think, like, I think maybe a criticism I could levy is that I guess Wyatt Russell didn't really do too much in the grand scheme of things. He was just kind of there, right? And obviously he, like, drove her places at first, but then she just drove herself. Right, so I guess saying this isn't a perfect movie is, like, he didn't really do much. Like, I thought maybe he would come back later in the movie and, like, do something with the plot, but no, it was just, like, a little cameo at the end when, like, Disclosure Day actually happened, the titular one. But I still enjoyed his character regardless. Either way, I also really liked how the movie just kind of jumped straight into it, right? There wasn't really any establishment or, like, really, it didn't really have any time to breathe, at the beginning at least. Like, it just jumped straight into it, which I can appreciate. Obviously, that's maybe not to everybody's liking, but I like a movie that gets straight to the point. You know, not all the time, but if it's done well, I enjoy that. I think maybe, I guess I like the mystery, right? Obviously, it's, I guess, the aliens themselves, although I do like the build-up, and I think the third act is really, really good. Obviously, the first two acts are really good in my opinion too, but I think some people don't think the first two acts are, like, good enough to justify rating it high, even though the third act is really good. I think that it's just build-up, right? And I think it, you know, escalates and escalates and escalates, and that crescendo of the third act I think is really satisfying. I think it's very, I guess, relieving, I suppose. I don't really know how to describe it exactly, but I think the ending was very, satisfying. Yeah, I guess that's the word I'm looking for. I just really liked the ending. Like, the whole ending bit of, like, them, like, figuring out, like, why they're here and what they're doing. And, I guess another thing that I really liked about the, big spoilers here, I'm gonna get into the ending. One thing I liked is that obviously the feds the whole time had been, like, trying to stop them from releasing this footage and stuff of aliens existing. It had been, like, a 70-year-long cover-up by the government, right? And they were trying to stop them from having Disclosure Day by disclosing all this to the public on live television. And when they did reveal it, they had all this footage, and then they brought out a real, like, living alien to, like, communicate with on, like, live air. And one thing I liked about this ending was the alien said something in the male main character's ear, and then he said it to Emily Blunt's character, and she, like, goes up to the camera and she's gonna recite it, and then the movie ends. I like that, because, I mean, what it said is probably why the aliens were there in the first place, like, why they selected Emily Blunt and Daniel to be like, the passengers for the aliens, but it doesn't tell you, like, it cuts off, it doesn't really say, what the alien said, and I appreciate that. It leaves it up to interpretation. You guys know how I am. I love interpretation. So maybe the aliens were here to, like, help us, maybe spiritually, maybe they were here to help us. I don't know, I just got out of the movie, so I don't have a lot of interpretations at the moment, but you get what I mean. It leaves it up to interpretation, which I like. I like that ending. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, so I was just trying to, like, you know, sometimes I feel like in my reviews I don't, like, criticize them enough. Yeah. But maybe, I don't know. Either way, you know, I could go on all day about how much I enjoyed this film, or certain scenes that I liked, or certain, you know, dialogue that I liked, but I think, that's just a little gratuitous, right? I think, I mainly talked about the main stuff that I liked about it. I really liked how the aliens were portrayed. I really liked how they were very enigmatic, right? Even at the end of the movie when we see the aliens front and center, as I said before, we don't really know why they're here in the first place, right? We don't really know what the government was doing with them, really. I mean, obviously they were experimenting on them and doing bad things, but we don't really know why. I mean, I guess because government bad, right? But I think, like, the motivations are kind of unclear, which I like. Maybe that could be a problem for some people, but I am a fan of that, leaving it ambiguous in nature. But with that being said, I'm kind of yapping again. I think I would recommend this film. Obviously, I've seen this movie is quite divisive. You either love it or think it's just whatever. And I went with a group of people, and me and 2 other people were like, this movie is great. And the other 2 people we went with were like, wasn't that good. Right? So maybe people aren't saying it sucked. People are just like, oh, this is a 9 out of 10, or you're like, man, this is a 6 out of 10, right? That's basically on the spectrums we're on right now. So I would recommend it, just so that, you know, where do you stand on the spectrum? Do you like this movie? Will you like it? Will you hate it? Or will you just think it's mediocre? Either way, I think you should at least go try it out and see how you feel about it. Because I personally really enjoyed it. If you really like sci-fi, you like aliens, you like the mythology, the lore of aliens dating back all those years, all those decades, I think it's really enjoyable. But with that being said, you may ask, what would I rate this film? Well, you know, I think I would rate this film a 8 out of 10. And, yeah, I think of something to say. I think of some piece. So, guys, I hope you like this video. Share it with friends. Subscribe. Turn those notifications on. Comment down below on how much you liked it. But you guys know how it goes. I didn't really mean to say that. What I really meant to say is, if you guys hated this video, unsubscribe, dislike it, tell me how much you hate me in the comments. And I've been on TMHD, off to reveal the truth. You know, I was watching this movie, right? And while I was watching it, I'm like, man, this score is so good. This feels like classic Spielberg. You wanna know why the score felt like that? Because old Johnny Williams came out of retirement, even though I feel like he's not even retired anymore. He does a lot of stuff now. He came out of retirement, he's like, yeah, one more Spielberg. I'm gonna do another Spielberg. And I'm just saying, he still got it, okay? It's Johnny Williams, what can you say? And he added to the movie quite a bit, and I'm like, that's why it sounds like classic Spielberg. He even got the classic composer. Good shit. I didn't wear my hat. I forgot it. How could I do this? It wasn't your fault this time, it was my fault. I don't even have a scapegoat. It was me. How could you do this? I need somebody to blame for my problems. What? It's preposterous.